Have you ever wondered what would happen if Earth collided with Pluto? It's a mind-boggling thought, isn't it? Let's first consider the sizes of these celestial bodies. Earth, our home, is about 17 times larger than Pluto. It's like comparing a basketball to a small apple. Now let's talk about the space that separates them. Earth and Pluto are not exactly neighbors. On average, they are about 3,600,000,000 miles apart. That's a distance so vast that light from the sun takes about 5.5 hours to reach Pluto. Under normal circumstances, these two bodies move in their own distinct orbits, separated by the vastness of space. It's highly improbable that they would ever cross paths, let alone collide. The universe, in all its infinite wonder, operates under a detailed set of cosmic rules. But what if we bend these rules? Now let's imagine for a moment that such an event does occur. What would be the outcome? First, let's consider the approach. How fast would Pluto be traveling towards Earth? To answer this, we need to take into account a few factors. First, there's the gravitational pull of each planet. The Earth, being larger, has a stronger pull than Pluto. This means that, as Pluto moves closer, it would start to speed up, drawn in by Earth's gravity. Next, we need to consider the distance between Earth and Pluto. On average, they're about 3,600,000,000 miles apart. Even traveling at the speed of light, it would take over 5 hours for Pluto to reach Earth. So, how would this affect what we see in the sky? Well, at first, not much would change. Pluto would still be a tiny speck of light, barely visible to the naked eye. But as it gets closer, things would start to get interesting. Imagine a second moon appearing in the sky, growing larger each night. That's what it would be like as Pluto approaches. And it wouldn't just be the sight of it that would change, its gravity would start to have an effect, causing tides to rise and fall more dramatically. But remember, this is all hypothetical. In reality, the chances of such a collision are almost zero. As Pluto gets closer, the effects on Earth would become increasingly noticeable. Now, onto the moment of impact. What would happen when Pluto collides with Earth? Well, let's begin with the immediate effects. As you might imagine, this wouldn't be a gentle tap. The collision would be an astronomical event of epic proportions. Picture this: a dwarf planet, about 2/3 the size of Earth's moon, hurtling towards us at a speed of over 50,000 kilometers per hour. Upon impact, the energy released would be astronomical. We're talking about energy equivalent to billions upon billions of nuclear bombs. This energy would not only vaporize Pluto on contact, it would also excavate a massive crater on Earth, reshaping the face of our planet in an instant. Now about the impact crater. This wouldn't be your average pothole. The collision would carve out a crater that could stretch for thousands of kilometers. Parts of the Earth's crust would be blasted away, exposing the mantle beneath. Imagine the Grand Canyon, but on a planetary scale, and you're starting to get the picture. But the devastation wouldn't stop there. The collision would also eject an enormous amount of debris into space. This debris, made up of rock and dust from both Earth and Pluto, would form a ring around our planet. But what goes up must come down. Eventually this debris would re-enter the Earth's atmosphere, causing a global rain of meteorites. It would be a cosmic fireworks display like no other. The result? A worldwide disaster. Cities would be flattened, forests would be incinerated, and oceans would boil. The sky would be filled with dust and smoke, plunging the Earth into darkness. It would be a scene straight out of a science fiction movie, only this time it's all too real. But the immediate impact is just the beginning. The aftermath would be even more catastrophic. In the aftermath of the collision, Earth would be a drastically different place. The long-term effects of such a catastrophic event would be profound and far-reaching. With a force equivalent to billions of atomic bombs, the collision would leave the Earth in a state of utter chaos. The energy released during the impact would heat up our planet, potentially resulting in a global firestorm. Mass extinctions would likely follow. The majority of species on Earth would find it difficult, if not impossible, to survive under these extreme conditions. Even if some life forms managed to endure the initial impact and the harsh climate that followed, the altered environment would challenge their long-term survival. The collision could also have significant effects on the orbit and rotation of Earth. The force of the impact might knock our planet off its current path around the sun, potentially pushing us into a more elliptical orbit. Life as we know it would be irrevocably changed. The Earth's surface would be reshaped, its climate altered, and the majority of its inhabitants wiped out. The few survivors would have to adapt to an environment unlike anything we have ever experienced. But it's not all doom and gloom. Such a collision could also bring about new opportunities for life to evolve and adapt. It might even open up the possibility for new forms of life, ones that could thrive in the altered environment. So, while the chances of Earth colliding with Pluto are astronomically small, the consequences would be astronomically large. So, what have we learned from this cosmic thought experiment? We've delved into the minute chance of such a collision ever happening, explored the catastrophic effects of the impact, and imagined the radical transformation our planet would undergo in the aftermath. It's a fascinating, albeit terrifying, exploration of space's potential surprises. However, rest assured, the likelihood of this interplanetary disaster is virtually non-existent. While it's fun to speculate, let's hope that Earth and Pluto continue to orbit the Sun peacefully, each in their own path.
Don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video. That's all for Nifty Narration.